Welcome to another interesting video on the L channel, where we're going to talk about psychics today. Look, there I am. Okay, there's my eye just looking at you and watching you. There it is again. So folks, I really wanted to talk about this because this is something that is just so astronomical, just what has been going on in my life. If you've been following my channel, then you know a lot of the crazy stuff that has been happening here. So today I wanted to talk about psychic abilities and them being enhanced recently tremendously. So I would say I've always been someone who's been very intuitive. I usually know things before they happen. Maybe not necessarily the exact way. I'm able to understand people very well, sometimes without even realizing it. Like someone had mentioned to me, oh, you understood me so well. And it's like, I didn't intend to, it's just how it happened, regardless. I am someone who can very easily tell other people very, very quickly. Even if it's just someone I've never talked to, like I could just be viewing their activity online. I could view like a social media profile and just understand, okay, this is the type of person that this is. This is probably what their interests are. This is probably the sort of way that they communicate with other people. This is probably what some of their problems are. All that sort of stuff. Very, very easy. Well, also, if you've been following my video, I've talked about specifically one person that I've not been able to read that has made like this huge, profound impact on my life and everything. All these synchronicities with this person, just amazing. And it's like the intuition saying you're going to marry this person or whatever, and then showing the tarot cards of all this sort of stuff. So I'm like, okay, here's the thing. When I had met that person, several months ago, at the towards the beginning of this year, 2025, it was nothing really. Well, I mean, actually, no. I mean, I'm not going to go into detail about that because that's not what it is. But literally, almost from the very first message, it was like life was telling me, there's something about this person. There's something about this person. Pay attention. Pay attention. Okay. But I could not read them. And this was very frustrating for me. I could not understand them the way I could understand other people. Their behavior seemed so odd. Like, in one way, this is how they would behave, but then they would do something completely different. And then it was so confusing to me, so I really couldn't understand them. And it was frustrating because that's not how I'm used to things. I've never encountered anyone like that before. Unless they have like, maybe like a severe mental illness where they're kind of like all over the place, but that's not what this was. I can tell the difference between people who are mentally unstable and someone such as whoever this person is. I mean, it's like, oh man. But I'm like, okay, that is when I decided to start pulling out the tarot cards and giving an answer, trying to get some sort of information regarding this individual, try to understand them a bit better. And I had done that for someone else that I had met at the beginning of the year. So there was someone else that I met like at the end of January who it just something felt kind of off about this person. Like they were someone that I was like getting very close to, but it was like very rapid and it was like a little bit uncomfortable, but there was something I felt as though they were hiding from me. So that is when I pulled out the tarot cards and it said, indeed, there's some sort of level of deceit here. There's some sort of illusion that's happening. So I was like, okay, I need to be prepared here. And then when this other person came in, okay, I will tell you the date that they came in. So the first person, end of January. The second person that I've had all these synchronicities with, they had messaged me. They had messaged me on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day. And it's like, okay, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, that's not about that. It's interesting because that wasn't part of the story here. But with this person, again, I could not read them. So I started to do the tarot cards about it. They gave me insight into this person. And then later they had revealed oh, this sort of problem is happening. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the tarot cards literally told me this person is dealing with this sort of problem. So I'm like, okay, let me do some more readings here and just really start to understand, really start to really get into this sort of thing. And I think that's what really sparked my interest. So at this point, where I am now, I would say that I am in like such a better, more clear-minded space than I was just even when I made that wedding video the other day. Okay? I'm just like going through like all this rapid change, and I'm just like, I've just never experienced anything like this. You know, it's like, if you've ever experienced any sort of like spiritual awakening or whatever, I've experienced multiple types of occurrences like that, where I have this major revelation, something drastically changes in my life. But what I'm going through right now, it's like combine all the other experiences together, all the other synchronicities together, and it's not as intense as what I'm experiencing right now. And it is just profound. And at this point, I have accepted this, because initially it was just like so crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I living in a dream? Is this just like crazy or whatever? I'm starting to accept the fact now, okay, life is showing me that there's something far more than I can ever possibly comprehend. Something that is so deep, that goes far beyond any sort of physical limitations. Because how can anyone really justify and say that, oh, it's just coincidence that all these sort of things happen? Sure, maybe if one or two of the things happened. But if I detailed out to you every single thing, you would be like, Elle, you are making up stuff. What you're saying, you're just making up like some sort of funny story. That's like, that cannot be true. But it is. Tell me how I could hear a voice telling me that this particular person is going to be my husband and I'm going to marry this person or whatever. And then it says, I'm going to show you the next 4 steps. And I pull out the tarot cards, and it's literally the exact steps. And then a few days later, I find a video online where the person is drawing cards, and it's like, oh, there's a lot of wedding cards in here, a lot of marriage cards, and they talk about this sort of stuff. And then just all the other things that I found, it's like all the other realizations that I've had within myself, all of the things that have made me realize I have a problem here that I am addressing, that have caused issues in past relationships, past friendships, past everything, that has perhaps led to some conflict. It has led to maybe friends no longer being in my life. Like I think about, just all the people way back in the day. It's like I realized some of the patterns that I would do, and all of a sudden they would be gone. So I just think about just all that now, and it's like I've like made this massive realization, and I'm learning so quickly, so rapidly, in ways that would normally take me many months or even like a year or more to really understand the lesson that life is teaching me and then move on from it. At this point, it's like I am so done with the old ways that I was doing, where I was trying to make people be a certain way or not really going with the flow of life. Just at this point, I have accepted whatever happens is going to happen, because it's always going to align with my true self, my higher self, whatever it is that I'm meant to do here. These experiences that I'm having are helping me. And if something doesn't work out, if something appears rather that it doesn't work out, then guess what? It's a learning lesson for me, so I can learn and grow. So I've shared a lot of these experiences. I've talked about my own personal, all this stuff that is going on within my life. And it's like, life is telling me, here's all the stuff you're learning here. And there's so much more growth you can have here. So I'm listening to what my intuition says. So if my intuition is telling me, hey, this is the situation at hand, this is what's going to happen here. I used to be like, okay, how's it going to happen? And I'm kind of worried. It's like, oh, I mean, things are not unfolding the way that I would want them to. It's like, I have to try to get control over this. It's like, no. At this point, it's like, life has shown me this is how things are going to be. And that is how it is. Don't worry about the steps to get there. They will come naturally to you when the time is right to get to those steps. You can't force it. You can't force someone to believe a certain thing. You can't force certain outcomes to happen. You can't have these expectations upon people. And I've realized all that, and I'm learning to just back away from that and just say, you know what? I'm going to trust the process here, and I'm not going to get emotionally invested in something that on the surface it feels like something may not be working out the way that I want it to. But in the grander scheme of things, it's all working out exactly as planned. Okay? So that's just kind of like my awareness and my abilities really starting to come into play here, because that is me trusting my intuition. I'm trusting my intuition, trusting my powers and what it's telling me. Of course, you can always misinterpret some of those things, but I guess when you find things that are so relatable, when you hear something and then it's actually manifested physically, like with that wedding thing, it's like I heard it so clearly, having a conversation with that voice, and then it showed me the cards. It's like, okay, if that's how it's going to be, I'm just going to trust that, because obviously, if that is how it is, it doesn't matter the road or journey to get to that point. All that matters is that is the road or journey that life has planned for me. Okay? Now you can say that that's a whole nother topic, talking about predetermined life and everything, which is something that I, believe in. It's like, whatever your life is destined to be, that is how it is. You cannot change that sort of thing. It's the illusion of, your free will, I guess, that you have that, because you think that you have choices. You think that you have that. But that's a whole nother topic entirely. Because it is something that is certainly very interesting. And in a way, yes, you make a conscious choice to alter what your destiny is, what your true purpose is. If I'm hearing something from my intuition is telling me this is how it's going to be, don't worry about the steps necessarily. I'm just telling you the end result. I may show you a few of the steps. I'm going to sprinkle them in your physical reality. I'm going to show them to you. But if you try to get worked up here and try to change anything, it's going to come crumbling down. So don't get involved the way that you think and try to change things. Just allow things to unfold naturally. So that is basically what I'm doing here. So not to mention, I don't know if I mentioned this, when I did that wedding, no, it was when I heard that voice that this person was going to be my husband or whatever. I was holding this actually. I was holding this. I was doing a meditation. I was relaxing. And then I heard that voice say, this person is going to be my husband. And at this point, instead of me being like, WTF, it's like, how did you show me all this? I'm just like, you know what? That is life telling me I'm on the right path to something amazing. Maybe that's going to happen. According to what I heard and according to the cards, that is what's going to happen. So it's not necessarily a what if. I'm just going to be like, the story is going to unfold in time, and I look forward to hearing about it. I look forward to witnessing it and experiencing it, because it is a roller coaster of a journey, ups and downs, learning lessons, and it's amazing. And that is what I love. So that's just my thoughts on the matter of how much I've changed and grown. Hopefully that is reflective in some of these videos now, how much I've changed and grown, because it is like extraordinary. It's like daily progress of just massive growth that I'd never thought imaginable. So anyway, that's all. Take care. Bye-bye.